Hi everyone, Martin here from martinsmayhem.blogspot.com. I hope you are well. So, right this second, what we're going to be looking at is this background, which I created here, which is on watercolour paper, and it's almost like a water wash effect, as you can see. So this video is purely just going to be showing you how I created this background, and then there'll be another video showcasing the card itself. Shall we put that to one side? So what I've got here is a piece of Stampin Up watercolour paper. This is really durable and thick, as you can hear. However, you might experience some warping, just because the amount of water that I do put on to the card or the base. What I would recommend is you tacking it down to a board, a thick board, so like a piece of MDF. However, for the sake of the video, I won't be doing that, and the piece of the cardstock has already been cut down to the right size. So if you were to tape it down, you would have to trim off the edge, because there might be a slight border, or you could just leave the edge in if you so wish. So I'm going to be using 3 Stampin' Up colours. The first is Crushed Curry, Pumpkin Pie and Real Red. I'm sure you've already seen one of my other cards where I did a watercolour technique on a much smaller scale. However, this should give you some more in-depth on how to create such a abstract, I suppose, background. So shall we get started? So I'm bringing in block F, which is the largest block that Stampin' Up do, and I'm just going to open up my ink pads and pad it down. So I want a lot of the ink on there for the lightest 2 colours, so much so I'm even going to do a little bit more of the yellow. Or Crushed Curry, my apologies. And then Pumpkin Pie. Actually, I'm just going to fully load this up with the 2 colours, just so I have enough. And I'll grab another block for the Real Red. These acrylic blocks are brilliant for this technique because they're so easy to wash and wipe clean, and they stay wet, the inks on here, for quite a while. So I'm going to move the example out of the way just so it doesn't get damaged, and I'm going to bring in my aqua painter like so. So I've filled mine up with water already. And because, if I bring back the example, I'm doing a diagonal motion, I'm just going to randomly wash this quite liberally with water in that diagonal motion, or corner to corner. Just fill it out. Get plenty of water on there, like so. Can you see that? I'm sure you can see that in the light. So making sure it's nice and wet, like so. It's a cold day here, so it should last quite a while. I'm literally just going to then pick up the ink and drop that down, like so. So there's not a lot of ink on the water even, so just going to pile it on, and you see how the ink's already moving its own way. That's what you want. You want it to be free. To move around. So then just filling up this area like so. Literally just picking up the ink and bludgeoning it down. Like so. So this is just a base, so I'm not going to bother cleaning off my aqua marker because I'm going to be adding in that pumpkin pie now. Get nice and wet. Just adding it in. So you can pick it up, you can maneuver it around slightly just so that we have the ink pooling. And then finally just bring in some of the real red just for the top part, and then that can just be brought down into the pumpkin pie. So. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is just grab just some normal kitchen roll or toilet paper, and I'm just going to absorb some of that excess water from some of the areas. So literally I'm just picking it up with that, and now I'm just going to heat set that as it is. So as you can see, that's just dried, and we've got this quite soft, subtle gradient. We do have some watermark in here just from where I added the intensity of the colour. Well, the colour was pooling even. So where I've heated it around the edges where the majority of the colour or the ink sat, that's where you get this little mark, which we're going to be doing a lot of with this card. As you can see, there's a lot of watermarks happening, but this is basically just the base. So now you're going to go back in and intensify that colour. So again, just to clean your aqua marker, I just have my toilet paper and just push the ink out by giving it a little squeeze. So then, starting back with the lightest colour, I'm just going to grab my ink, start pouring the water, and then go back in with my heat tool, like so. So do you see how we've created that watermark there? Because we pulled the ink at that one point and then we heat set it quick enough for it to leave a mark. So we're just going to keep doing that and keep building up the colour as we see fit. Like so. Literally taking so much of that colour up. And then heat setting it again. And it's literally just a process of picking up the ink, pulling it around. You can overlap them because it's a water-based ink we're using. That's going to reactivate the ink, and then that's going to give it a different tone. So I'm just going to heat set it again, bear with. So there you have that one. I haven't completely dried that one because what it's going to do now is it's going to create its own little watermarks where the little blobs are still wet. And I quite like the look of that. So it's literally just messing around until you're happy. So I'm going to do one more little bit here, like so. Bringing that up, like so. And then I'm just going to bring in some of that pumpkin pie and start doing the same here with that. Now I am mixing the two colours together just to create that gradient. And then just heat set that. So, as you can see, I've still left that little bit there because I'm going to let that naturally pool as I just pick up some more colour and start on another section, like so. And there you go, you can see that we're starting to build up that intensity of colour. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just crack on. I'm going to speed up the video slightly just so you can still see this background come together, but you're going to be basically watching it as I go. So, see you in a bit. Okay, so I'm back. So as you just saw, I just quickly ran over these areas with just plain water, and I'm just going to do the same here, like so. And the reason for that is I've done this quite dark compared to last time, and to be fair, I want a much softer approach. So I'm just going to reactivate all that ink, and then just taking a piece of tissue paper or toilet paper, I'm just going to dab off the excess, and that just softens it ever so slightly, and that gives me an effect I'm much more happier with and much more in line with the original card design. So I'm not going to touch that any further because I'm satisfied that that's how I want it to be. So we'll leave it there. If you want any information on how to make this card you see here, please follow the link below where I will link to the video, as well as pop along to my online shop where all the items used today, including all the inks, the blocks and the watermarker, are available to purchase. And why not share to your social media so everybody can see how quick and easy it is to create such a interesting background. I will see you around. Bye.